Right, welcome to Handball Kōrero NZ with me, Kim Ross, and we are in Heraclean at the World Championships, and I have found Rosa Boyd, handball legend of Oceania, who has obviously competed for the Australian team, and thought today we'd interview her to get her experience of what it's been like being part of the Australian team and kind of Oceania handball in general. So, Rosa, what's it been like for you in the Australian team?
For us, it's been a really interesting experience. We've had a lot of highs and lows. We've taken a few sets. We came in with sort of some expectations about how we would go and didn't quite live up to that, but have really learned a lot from the experience and have really appreciated sort of playing handball again and being able to travel after sort of being so restricted during COVID and, noticing how the game's changed and sort of adapting and really getting some of our more junior players up and running as well and seeing them develop and grow. And also obviously supporting the Kiwi guys and seeing how well they're progressing. And, it's really awesome for Oceania Handball to have such a supportive group to come together and have you guys supporting us. And obviously we've been really supportive of you and seeing you guys get your wins as well. It's been awesome.
So thank you guys very much for the streams. The Aussie girls have tuned up for a few games now, and I tell you what, we've been the loudest. We've been louder than main court most of the time. The crowd has been amazing. I guess in terms of Oceania Handball and your squad, I know for the New Zealand squad there's been 6 debutants on the World Champs.
Yeah.
Is it similar for the Australian girls? Or?
So we've got three debutants, all of whom have sort of come through from junior handball, be it either beach handball or indoor handball. And they have just sort of stepped up and just really taken the pressure, taken the experience. And, Casey Clark, absolute legend Case, has sort of been our super sub and has come on at some really pivotal moments and just scored, like literally come on the court, catch the ball once, straight on scored. And that sort of experience, it's nothing that you can compare to what we get in Australia. So to be able to give them that exposure to what international handball is actually like, it's so different from anything that we have back home. And obviously the rivalry between Australia and New Zealand is so intense and awesome. Like, we're so close that we really continue to push each other harder every time. But absolutely nothing compares to the consistency of games and the pace and just the environment and the heat as well. I wasn't, coming from Australia, we're like, oh, it's so hot. And then you come here and you're like, no, actually, it's really hot. Yeah. But yeah.
I think perfectly said. Like, I think for our boys coming here the first time, you've got to go through the roller coaster of highs and lows to learn what being at a big game tournament is all about. And every game is either a step up or the same level, and just what the jump is from Oceania handball.
And even the pressure of the penalty shootouts as well. In Australia we go to pens every now and then, but then when you come here you have goalkeepers that are used to shooting against professional handball players on a weekly basis. You have defenders that are 6 foot tall, that can jump. It's so different from playing against the same attack, same defense that we have. And we can only grow from that experience as well. So
I guess thinking about World Champs over for us now, and we're on to the next stages. I know that Australia is going to the World Games as well as New Zealand, so we've got a couple more weeks in beautiful Europe/America in summer yet, which is great for us.
Yeah.
But what do you think the next steps are for Oceania Handball in terms of building up to, I guess, a bit more competitive and maybe make a bit more waves than what we are currently?
Yeah, 100%. I think, so for us, we have a group of, I think there'll be 6 debutants that'll go to the World Games. So I think that'll be a really good experience for them to sort of strengthen that ability and that sort of knowledge of competing on that world stage of what to actually expect. I think it's really easy for people when you come to nationals in Australia, which is like the biggest competition at the moment in Oceania, and feel like that's sort of really competitive. But then when you come to competitions like this, it's so much higher, and the speed and the shots and all that sort of stuff, it's so different. So for them to be able to get that experience and then take that, and I know a lot of the juniors and some of the senior players have said, we need to go home, we need to work on our alleys, we need to work on our upright spins, we need to work on our upright blocks. It's such a different style of play that if we keep doing what we're doing now, we'll remain at a for us, obviously the bottom, and for you guys, you're progressing, but I think, just getting that experience. And then obviously next year, I think it's World Beach Games in Indonesia.
Yes, Bali.
Yeah, very, very exciting. So I think for us, we'll have a squad of 20 players that will have experienced that international handball at that really high level. So for us, I hope that will sort of encourage people to keep training and see what it's like and know what sort of hard work that they have to put in. And I think having that hiatus from the international travel and competition has meant that we did, especially for our team, we did fall back behind again where we'd previously been going up. So I think it'll be that extra little kick in the guts that we need to sort of get motivated and really train hard for August next year. So
well, that's great. We know that the New Zealand girls had a great series against you, and that they a little bit gutted that they're not here themselves.
Yeah.
So I know that the competition between Oceania Handball and between New Zealand and Australia Handball, and hopefully extending out to some of the other islands and things like that, is going to be really strong over the next couple of years. Obviously, as you said, Indonesia world champs in a couple of years, and I'm sure we're all going to be gunning for spots for that.
I know. It's not just a walk in the park anymore. We sort of used to come in with the assumption that we'd be talking about Greece straight after the competition that we just came from, whereas now it's like, well, actually we have to qualify. We know those Kiwi girls are training hard, and I know that a lot of, like, American Samoa and things like that, they're all hot on our heels, but for me that's really awesome as well. Like, I think that the more competitive every nation in Oceania gets, the better we're all going to be. And if we don't earn that spot, then that's just going to make the hunger inside even stronger to sort of get those spots in the future. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know it was sizzling hot, and there are definitely soda waters flowing, so thank you for the time, and we'll catch everybody next time.
Thank you for having me. I got so hot.
Soda waters, yeah, fucking weirdo.
If you can edit out the sweat just down my face. Can you see it? It's like